All right, 2 people, that's enough. Peace, peace to whomever watches this or watches live or whatever. Um, Full circle. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I reference my time when I was all right. I reference the time that I spent uh, as a personal trainer, which is it's not past tense, it's still present tense. But let's say what was my heyday back then. You know, I think about this sometimes, or I've thought about it, and you know how you hear like that old person who keep reminiscing about, oh, when I was your age, I such and such and I such and such. And I got to thinking about that about myself and how when I was really hot and heavy with the training, how I was actually conducting. It was very metaphysical, put it that way. That was, you know, that's what the secret to success was really getting inside of people's head. And then as that started fading out, that period, and I started getting more into the metaphysics. Let me tell you something. This is for everybody. If you're new to this type of information or you're more seasoned with it, one thing I think we always have to take into account is that we're still living inside of a human organism or suit. And as long as we're living inside of this human vehicle, we're going to have the human reactions to life. When you start to discover new information or you confirm things you may have already known, either way, and it kind of unravels your foundation, it can be depressing. It's a word that we don't like to use, especially black people, because we're conditioned to not, we are people intrinsically of endurance. That's what this skin ultimately is, an enduring organism or organ. Okay? What's happening now? So we sometimes take it to the extreme because, hey, we got to survive. We don't have the luxuries that other people have in this world. We were built to endure suffering, okay? So you don't want to sit back and be like, hey, you know, I might be dealing with some depression, or like, man, this is, you know. The reason I'm saying that is because I know that's been part of my transformation, because it gave me the excuse to kind of let my body go. You know what I'm saying? Because I started getting into, well, I'm all into this information and, you know, I'm not wrapped up in the physical and this and that. And the reason I titled this Full Circle is because I'm at that point in life where it's like, I don't want to have to be dualistic. I don't want to have to choose that, oh, for me to be whatever I consider myself to be over here, I got to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? Peace. What's happening, Eric? You know, we have to think holistically and episodically about everything. Let's just take Bobby Hemmett. Let's take before him. You know, before Bobby Hemmett, you know, you had just a couple of names. This is not exhaustive, but let's just say John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Joseph Ben Jochannan, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. John Henrik Clarke, you know, Chancellor Williams. Okay, let's say that was the historical framework of the rekindling of knowledge. Okay, well, Bobby Hemmett said, well, there they talked about the mysteries, but nobody got into the mysteries. Well, he introduced the mysteries, okay, for a great, and he still is to a great deal of people who are like new to this information. But what's the next step? For me, I looked at myself and said, well, the next step as it pertains to me, not to nobody else, but for me, is if I am inhabiting a human body and I am ultimately spirit who's having a human experience, you've heard that a million times, then obviously the human template is the place where spirit interacts and grows. So that if I want to really investigate the mysteries, I need to investigate the mysteries of myself, and not just from an abstract perspective, but the mysteries of myself from a physiological perspective. Because isn't that the first thing we learn? Metaphysics 101, the law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. That's Metaphysics 101. That's the laws of Tahuti. That's the third law of Tahuti, correspondence. So I've been really looking into, and this is going to be for the rest of my life, because you're just not going to get on top of hormones. That's something you're going to study for the rest of your life, is hormonal secretion. Your hormones can be secreted by your endocrine system, your immune system, your neurological system, and others. Now, if you want to talk about the 72 demons of Goetia, or the 72 conspirators of Set, or the signs of the zodiac, all of them can have some representation in our hormonal secretion. Now, while we don't have complete mastery or understanding of these things, and I got to go here in a second because I'm to my destination, but this is just a public service announcement. I had to recommit to what I know. Get my body back in order. But see, here's the thing. Doing it from a perspective of higher understanding. So that for the average person who's standing in the gym or wherever else, it's just, I'm coming here to look at some women. I'm coming here to look at some men. I'm coming to I want to be hot. Oh, I want to look good in the pictures I take for the wedding. Mundane, super mundane things. But with your higher understanding and you start applying it to your physical structure, now you are literally tapping into the inner world. Because your mind, first law of Tahuti, the mind is all and all is mental. So if your mental state is on another level and now you start tapping into doing things to improve your physical structure, you're not just improving your physical structure, you're improving the whole. It is time to bring all of the abstract science back into something practical that it can be applied to. Otherwise, it's just an infinite pool of speculation. There's a reason that we have a human existence. It is so we can have a practical template to apply these very abstract concepts that really can't be congealed. They can only be symbolized through our experience. These are archetypal energies in their essence. These archetypal energies have to be experienced. It's the only way to understand them. So that's just I know I'm talking in riddles. I'm waiting on this person to meet me. But check this out. Don't be afraid or egoic and not want to recognize the frailties of your humanity. Because in recognizing those frailties, that is where you actually can do some work. And work doesn't have to be some abstract thing. You know what I'm saying? Get up and move. Hormones are secreted from an ocean. In Greek mythology, the goddess Keto, Ceto, is called the sea goddess. So if you study these mythologies, they actually are scientific, and they're speaking about, for one thing, hormonal secretion. The goddess Keto. And out of this ocean comes these infinite number of expressions. That's quantum physics. Your hormones come out of a quantum pool of infinite possibilities. Now, if you can do anything to take some measure of control over them, we can say that you're doing at least a measure of the great works. All right, Brother Jamal, mastersofthecosmos.com. Stay down until you get up. And when you get up, stay down. Peace.